Thank you for watching. Please hit that thumbs up button. Please subscribe. And if you have subscribed, thank you. And if you haven't, why not? Hello, everyone, and welcome again to Boomer in the Burbs. My name is Belle, and I am a baby boomer living in the suburbs of Metro Atlanta. I want to challenge you today to really practice with the things that you have already accumulated, or practice going without electricity for any amount of time. You can do it for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 6 hours. You be the judge of what you can do based on the amount of time you have. I know we don't have a lot of time to fumble around in the dark, so I'm going to suggest some things that might be helpful to you as you think about going without electricity. Why without electricity, even heat, even water? Because there are so many challenges that we have found that are all over the United States, and if you're not living in the States, around the world. And these challenges are going to be important for you to practice, because you just can't have everything in a little corner somewhere waiting. Oh, just put it over there in the corner and one day I'll need it. No, you need to practice. Practice makes perfect. So I'm going to talk to you about just a few things that you might want to find helpful. And you may have heard about these things. If so, that's great. But put in the comments below as I go through this series of important things you may need. Now, we all know that you need flashlights, and I told you why I don't like candles, but if you did not hear that video, I don't care for candles, y'all, because to me, they are toxic. For me, just for me. And in that toxicity that they have, it's also a situation of being very dangerous unless you're extremely careful. I don't have any little children in my house. It would be all right, but that smoke is just bothersome to me. So I like to go with flashlights. Of course, we have the standard flashlights. We know about batteries. I mentioned that before. But I didn't talk to you about a headlamp, which I think a headlamp is more essential than any other tool you can have, because it leaves both hands free to carry, to lift, and then all you have to do is just point your head in the direction of where you want your light to shine. And you can use this any kind of way you can use it. You can see better, to me, and I like them. I like using them. They have several little features on it. They have these lights. They have the dimmer lights. They have some that just flash to tell people that you're in trouble, but I like those. I also like this one, which is a flashlight, but it's a different flashlight because it has a hand crank on it, which if your batteries fail and you don't have batteries, you could just use your own power, and you don't have to worry about it. Crank it up and then turn it on, and you can have some great light to use. I'm trying not to put it right in your eyes, but you can have some great light to use, a way to signal in the dark, and it can be seen for a good little ways. We also have this wonderful one that I picked up years ago. It's called the Illuminade, and I like this one, Luminade, because it is kind of sort of waterproof, and all you have to do, it's already lit up. You may not be able to see that it's lit up. It's flat here, but you can blow this up here, blow it up, and you can make a little box type, and you can hang it wherever you need to hang it. It also charges with a USB and solar lighting. So this little thing, to me, is great, especially with storms and rain that come into your home. I think these are valuable to have. And again, they're illuminate, they're waterproof. They would be great little tools for you to have to keep light on around the house. And of course, with that said, and that being part of it, we also have another little device that I think is critical, and it's called the Voyager, and it's a little radio that gives you information about the news in your area. It picks up the news in your area. It has an antenna, and it works 3 ways. It charges 3 ways. Charges 3 ways. It charges using the solar panel. It charges using your USB port, or your electrical port. Let's see if I can find it on the back here, USB. And it also helps you charge your telephone. Finally, it cranks. It goes that power, y'all. And it gives you that power, which is so necessary. You don't have to go out looking for electricity. If you have a good arm, you can keep it going. And it tunes in on what's going on. It tells you the different type areas of power you use, the battery or the crank or the sunlight. And I'm going to go with the battery that's in here, and I'm going to try to turn it on. See if I can turn it on to battery. Light west wind. Now the extended forecast. And it tells you what the forecast is and also what's going on. I think these are invaluable. So you turn it off there. But I really do like this one for those of you who are looking for a way to hear what's going on communication wise. That can't be beat. Now, another thing that people are always talking about is how are you going to heat? Of course, most of us know about using My Buddy. Many of us do have a way to use our own because we have gas stoves when the electricity goes off. Some of us have the outside Coleman stove. Some of us have barbecue grills. But whatever you use, you want to be careful with it, especially when you're supplementing your heating system. I like the Mr. Buddy. Here it is. It's My Buddy. I've used it several times over the past few years when the electricity has gone off and I haven't been able to heat the house. And I love my Mr. Buddy. The only thing about a Mr. Buddy is a Mr. Buddy only lasts for about 4 hours on regular, medium heat. They have a low and a high setting, and it's expensive. Those canisters are expensive. But if you need something to warm up your area some, a Mr. Buddy is important. Now, if you are in a situation where you are weeks without power and it is very cold, you can't leave your house, because I know one time I was living in Atlanta, in city of Decatur too, and our power went off for 1 week. This was years ago. Now, I had no way to keep things warm, so I would boil water because my stove did work at that time, though I didn't have electricity. Put your hot water in a hot water bottle, roll it up in a towel, set it inside a sleeping bag, and if you have small children, or one for yourself, and one of my other subscribers and longtime viewers has suggested sleeping bags. So sleeping bags are really important. This is a youth size one, and people can get in the sleeping bag when they are cold. Put a hot water bottle at the foot of it where you boil water using your Coleman stove or some other butane stove. And this is what you need. And I think these are some of the things that are really, really, really important to have. When your electricity goes out. Now, I have the 4Patriots solar power and USB powered um, charger, and I use this for my phone a lot. So if you are, and I think that it's not waterproof, but it tolerates being wet some. So, and I don't know whether that's right or not, but I know that I use this one a lot. And if you have a handheld charger, get one that you can use these solar panels on to charge it. Try getting these to use. These are awesome. And now let's get down to being able to really figure out what you're going to do when the lights go out. I say practice, practice, practice. Practice to me leads to perfection later on and helps you not panic. Because even today, as I was trying to fit the toilet seat over the 5-gallon bucket, which they said would fit, and it didn't really fit like it needed to fit, I was having trouble. So I would suggest that you practice. Please let me know if you decide to turn off the lights, how long you can go without power, or how long you think you can go without power. While it's fall and fall is in the air in most places in the country, it's not too hot, it's not too cold. Let's get everything lined up and put it in order and see how you use it. Because after all, when the lights go out, you want to know that you're able to do what you need to do. So here you have some ways to conduct yourself if your electricity goes off and there's nothing you can do. Unlike the people in the eastern part of our country, in North Carolina, when the house was just flooded, there was nothing they could do. I would suggest minimally having a grab bag so that even if you find yourself up on the roof of your home, you can have a critical grab bag with your radio in it, with your flashlight charger, with your headlamp, with your charger for your phone, just critical. And of course, who would not love to have had this luminaire, uh, this luminade light when they were out with water pounding at them? That whole thing was a catastrophe, unbelievably so. And I'm just praying for everybody that your lights never go out. But if they do, that when they go out, that you'll be as prepared as possible by practicing before you have to deal with the real thing. Okay, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Please hit that thumbs up button. Please subscribe. And if you have subscribed, thank you. And if you haven't, why not? I love you. That's why I'm here. And I hope that you'll stick with me, come back to see me. And I thank you for doing all that you can. Now it's your turn. Tell me what else we can do when the lights go out. And have you practiced? And if so, how long did you really practice? Okay? Tell me the truth now. Let me know. See you soon. Bye-bye.